Birdland, what's going on? So quite an interesting series this weekend up in Pittsburgh. There's not a whole lot to really say about it other than the offense just continued to struggle. I know we can kind of maybe say that the bullpen blew a couple games because the Pirates walked off too. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to throw some stats at you right now, and it's quite alarming. You know, when your pitching staff, and bullpen included, is only giving up 3 or 4 runs a game, if you're a 100-win team like this team was last year, you win those games, right? Your offense is good enough that you win those games because your pitching just gave up only 3 or 4 runs in 10 innings. What I'm about to tell you right now is alarming outside of a couple players. But I'm not pushing the panic button, so let's not go there. I'm not pushing the panic button. But I just want to kind of show you why we're struggling, why our bullpen is in the situation that it's in, why our pitching as a whole is the situation that it is. So this weekend alone, right? This weekend alone, we had 108 at-bats, 108, 22 hits through 3 games, 22. So we hit 203 this series, 203 with 22 strikeouts. So we're averaging 7 Ks a game. And 3 walks. 3 walks in 3 games. That can't happen. That ratio from K to walk, absurd. But to touch on that, because it's not just this series, we're against starting pitching this year. Granted, we're through 9 games. Against starting pitching, the entire lineup is hitting 191 this season against starting pitching. That blows my mind that this lineup is hitting 191. They have 30 hits and 157 at-bats for starting pitching. We haven't even faced a good starting pitcher yet. So I'm not hitting the panic button yet. We're 9 games in. I'm just throwing these numbers out there to kind of show you why we're struggling. That's all. This offense is going to turn it around. All the faith in the world that this offense will turn this around. But here's a couple things. So Mullins right now, 0 hits this year versus starting pitching. He's 0 for 16. Urias, 0 for 9 against starting pitching. Hayes, 1 for 14. Gunnar, 3 for 23. Westberg, 2 for 16. Santander, 3 for 22. Cowser, 2 for 4. Mountcastle here, 8 for 22. Very good numbers. Mountcastle is having a very solid start to his season. Mateo, 4 for 9. Applaud Mateo right there, right? This is a guy that a lot of people don't want on the roster. He single-handedly has kept us in a game or manufactured runs himself. So right now I'm applauding Jorge Mateo. Great for him. And then Rutschman is 7 for 22. Very respectable start to his season against starting pitching. But 191 against starting pitching. That's insane. That's insane. And that's with the first 2 games of the year against the Angels in there. Now, they're hitting relief pitching well. That number's up, above 260. That's fine. The problem we're running into is getting the late start. Because sometimes when you start late, you don't pick it up. We've been very blessed to have 2 walk-off wins so far. We've been walked off twice in a row. We've been blessed to have 2 walk-off wins. We could very, very easily be on the opposite end of a winning record. We're 5-4 right now. We could really easily be 2-7. That easily. Because the offense isn't hitting. We can blame the pitching all we want. Our pitching is lights out. I know some people probably don't want to hear that. Pitching is lights out. Again, when you can hold big league hitters through 9 innings to 3 to 4 runs as a 100-win ball club, you have to win that game. Flat out. There is no way around it. You have to win that game. You need to be able, as a 100-win ball club, to manufacture more than 3 runs. In 4 of our losses this year, we have 1 run. It's insane. It can't happen. Granted, these guys are going to right the ship. Again, I already know that. I already know that. We started a little slow last April. That's fine. But when you hear some of these numbers and you see what's going on down in AAA, I get it. And everyone wants to point to that button right there and say, bring those guys up. I get it. Expect the same kind of numbers when they do get brought up. Because there's a big difference between AAA pitching and big league pitching. Big difference. Ball might move this much in AAA. Well, guess what? It's moving this much in the big leagues. And it's coming a hell of a lot harder. Hell of a lot harder. It takes these guys time to adjust. Look at Cowser right now. When Cowser figures out how to hit that inside pitch at 95 plus, Cowser might be in Rookie of the Year conversation. What if he figures it out early enough? Right now, that's his weakness, and he's being attacked at it. And you know what? It's okay, because he knows it, the Orioles know it, and they're going to work on it. No doubt in my mind. This team will right its ship. It's fine. But, I mean, wild series this weekend, right? Good baseball was played. The O's played a little sloppy, right? The offense was sloppy. But they still battled, right? They didn't give up. They haven't hung their heads like, oh, man, I'm in a slump, blah, blah, blah. My gripe with Hayes, we know Hayes is an above-average baseball player. He's an above-average big league player. That's what you want on a team, right? In his last 1,000 at-bats, he's hitting 260. You can't ask for anything more from a guy who also plays excellent defense with that crazy wall in Baltimore. You can't ask for much. Right now, only thing you can ask for is, God forbid, just take a pitch, Austin. That's all I'm asking. Just take a pitch. Bro, you have 26 at-bats this year. You've seen 31 pitches. 31 pitches in 26 at-bats, and you have one hit. Take a pitch, brother. That's all you got to do. Take a pitch. That's all I'm asking. That's all Baltimore is asking. Relax yourself at the plate, dude. We know you're a good hitter. We know you're in a contract year. You want to do big things. I get it. Doesn't mean you need to pull that outside fastball and try to pull it. Just take a pitch, man. Let it come to you. Let the game come to you. You've proven that you're a good player. Let the game come to you. Right? We've seen Cowser. The game is slowing down a little bit for Cowser. He's starting to get more hits. He's still struggling on the inside fastball, but you know what? So did Adley, so did Gunnar. Right? It happens. They will fix it. But I thought the pitching was great this weekend. For the circumstances that they were put under. Yes, Cano walked a couple guys today, but you know what? The bullpen's kind of overused already. Even though the starting pitch has been pretty good. Dean went, I might have tried a Dean out there one more inning. I don't know. It's a tough call because it's April, and you don't want to blow a guy out and get him tired like Tyler Wells in the middle of last year. He was tired. You don't need that because you wanted one more inning in April. You know? There's a whole nother discussion. I'm going to make a whole nother video about it, about these guys that have been getting hurt recently. And there's a lot of chatter that it might be, the pitch clock. Guys are kind of rushing and stuff. I get it. We're gonna save that for a video because I have my own thoughts on that. And that can make that into a pretty solid video. I'm going to bring a couple other people in and kind of chat about that. But, I mean, Keegan Aiken looked phenomenal. He looked like the old Keegan Aiken, not last year's Keegan Aiken. You could tell he was injured. But 2021... 2022, Keegan Aiken, getting guys out, keeping the ball down. Hey, I'm happy about that. Danny Colomb coming in, bases loaded, no outs, getting out of it. I was ready to buy a Danny Colomb jersey yesterday. Not even kidding. I was ready to buy it on the spot. Hell of a performance by Danny. Kimbrel looked good. Cano looked good outside of today. The first game of the series. There's some things here to build on. Panic button does not need anywhere around you. Don't push it. Don't even look at it. 5-4, it's okay. We're playing decent ball. Just the offense has got to wake up. It's got to wake up a little earlier than starting pitching, especially because you ain't facing really anybody that good. Granted, Jared Jones is a good ball player. He's going to be phenomenal for the Pirates. But the guys they face, and I don't know if it's a lefty thing. That's a whole nother conversation, right? These matchups against the lefty stuff, it ain't working. It ain't working, Brandon. I know you have a lineup that you want to trot out there against left-handed pitchers. Right now, it's not working. Is it going to eventually? Maybe. But we have never, under your managerial, have never been good against left-handed pitching. And that's okay. You know, I'm not expecting this team to be 1-1 against, you know, lefties and righties. Maybe just a little bit more consistent. Maybe. I think we've seen enough of some guys. I'm going down that road. We've seen enough of some guys that maybe you should start getting some of these left-handers, some left-handed, left-on-left at-bats. Maybe see if Ryan O'Hearn can do a little bit better than Ramon Urias. I don't even care at this point. Mateo's earned it. Mateo has earned every at-bat for the rest of this year right now against lefty because he's hitting. What more can you ask for that guy? He's hitting lefties very hard. Nothing you can ask for. Westberg, scuffling. I thought Westberg was going to have a breakout year. Still might. I still think he's a fantastic ball player. Just scuffling, right? Us against lefties right now, just is what it is. It's just ugly. Not even big name lefties. That's the bad part. It's just ugly all around. Guys just don't look comfortable yet. So it'll come. Just pump the brakes. You know, take a deep breath. Team's 5-4. We got a long way to go. It's going to be a fantastic ride. It's going to be a lot of good baseball games. We're going to lose some. We're going to win a lot. So the only thing I can tell you guys is just buckle up and get ready for it because it's going to be one hell of a ride. You know, the AL East, again, is probably going to break records for most wins. You know, every team's going to be above 500 again. We head into a huge series against Boston right now. They have the best ERA in baseball, 1.19. They are not giving up runs on the mound. Was that to be expected? No. But the Orioles tend to hit better pitching well. So maybe they'll break out. I don't know. But them being in their opening day, it seems like we always play them on opening day. You know, it's hard to win in Boston on opening day. It is hard. I know we did it last year, but it don't happen often. So, but I mean, what do you guys think? When should the panic button get hit, right? I'm going to say around 20-ish games. If we're still looking at a 191 average after game 20 against starters, I'm going to start hitting some buttons. And I'm going to say, start getting me some guys here that can hit guys better consistently. And I don't care if they have to go through their 100 or 150 rookie at-bats to do it. Because right now, I've seen a lot of bad at-bats. So I'm not ready to push that button, but I'm also ready to say, you've got about 11 more games until some of these guys need to start coming up. Because we saw it at the end of last year, right? And it's trickling over right now. The end of last year, they only averaged 2.2 runs a game those last 2 weeks of the year. Yeah, they had everything kind of locked up. They knew they were making the playoffs. That's fine. You averaged 2.2 runs a game, and then you went into the playoffs and didn't hit at all. You know? And I think a lot of people's expectations were super high because of spring training, but a lot of the spring training stuff was being done by guys that are in Norfolk, so I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean, the book's out. You know, you guys, at this point, this lineup with certain players has had 50 to 100 at-bats dating back to last year that they've been really bad. So, me personally, and I know this has no value, these guys got 11 more games on my watch. And I know no one else is ever going to look at my watch, but me personally, at 11 more games, I'm going to start pushing that button and start asking for certain players. If these guys don't fix a 191 average against starters, I believe they will. I have no issues against it. I believe they will. But again, this is Pigtown Sports. We're going to try and do some nightly content. I appreciate you guys watching this long. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.